What's up, guys? Steven here, back at it again with another video for y'all. As you can see, it's kind of another cool day out here. I'm in Covington, Georgia, and it's kind of like I don't know, this like muggy, rainy, almost summery day today. I think it's really cool. I just fixed up my motorcycle. I've got a little Honda Grom 2016. And yeah, I want to show y'all some videos of that, maybe me riding around. Not too sure how I'd record that for y'all. Don't have like a GoPro or mount for that. I'm sure I could figure out something. You know, it would be a cool video for y'all. Yeah, I want to add that. Then, okay, yeah, okay. I got it. Sorry for the little bit of wait. Yeah, I wanted to talk about, more about like living your dream life. And you know, I feel like once you start doing things that you actually want, it gets easier to let other people do what they actually want. And you're not in this weird tug of war of like, no, do this, you do this, right? You know, with my old friends, I was always like, you always want to bring them into your world in a bit. And I think a part of that is a steady friendship, but definitely shouldn't be everything, and it doesn't have to be everything. And of course, like if you stop seeing your friends, or if they do something that makes you upset or something like that, and instead of like oh, you should do this for me, blah, I did this and this, and all that arguing and trying to convince people, it doesn't work. There's really no point to it, if if the other person doesn't want to do that. And I mean, do you really want them? Do you really want to force your friend to help you? And I would say, I would hope not. And then you're just basically like North Korea. You're just living in a dictatorship. They don't actually like you. They're just doing it just because they have to, basically. But I'd say, a way to fix that or help you feel better is take steps for your own dream life. And once you do that, you'll start to, let other people live their lives how they want to. And yeah, same thing that comes with boundaries. I've realized when now I set boundaries, and it's like, you can get like I feel like Christians could be like this, like, it's like they don't like you to set boundaries. It's like, also, it goes back to that, oh, you should be doing this for me. And at some point you almost have to say no, right? Boundaries to self-preservation. And so once I've set boundaries for myself and other people, now when I interact with other people or new people, if they tell me no, I don't take it personally. How could I be mad at them for setting a boundary if I'm setting boundaries, But see, I never did set boundaries, and I just would always do what other person wanted. And so when a friend wanted to do what I wanted, or when a stranger didn't react how I wanted, I took it personally. Like, why do they get to live their lives? Why do they get to make themselves happy when I'm over here suffering? I was just suffering for, for other people. And to be honest, I got jack shit out of that from suffering. And yeah, it kind of pissed me off. It kind of made me mad and made me kind of reconsider my life a lot. And yeah, it just yeah, boundaries can be very, very important. And I think once you try to like socialize with other people, you need good boundaries, because things can get really out of hand. Um, and that's what I do now, and sometimes you can push boundaries, um, but typically, that changes the friendship or changes the dynamic. And yeah, that's why, pretty much, I live alone, or I don't have like any friends. But that's helped me tremendously meeting new people, because you're not stuck into this like continual shit. It's just like, oh, I did this to help this person, so now, it's just like this circular shit that you're stuck in. But once you're alone, you're out of like the whole circle, right? And so you don't have to do anything. You don't have to do jack shit. And I guess that goes back to your dream life. You start to see what you actually want to do. I guess sometimes a lot of our lives, it's lived through other people. Like, you like to work out because your friend likes to work out, or you use social media because your friend uses social media, and other stuff like that. Once you're by yourself, or maybe in a different country, it can be a lot easier to break those habits. And that's what I did when I was like a kid, like a teenage, like 16, 17. My family used to go to Cancun, and Cancun became my like counterpart of everything I wanted to try out socially, because I went to a small private Christian school, and there's not too many options there. It's like my class was like 20 people. So Cancun, became this. I'm away from all my old friends and all those old dynamics, and yeah. So Cancun, I could be crazy a little bit. Try out new things, and I always thought I was beneath people. Because it's hard to admit, but I always felt beneath my friends, and sometimes that's good, because like you're always challenging yourself. And I think I've talked about the 10th week a couple times on here, and like that 10th week I went through, I gave myself proof that I wasn't beneath my friends anymore. And it's so weird once you prove that socially, really changes the dynamics. It changes the dynamics fast. I did that in 1 week, and yeah, I took down like 3 people. I want to talk about it. Maybe in Thailand, I'll talk about it. I've got it. Yeah, I'll probably do that. Maybe like a rooftop bar. I'll tell y'all the story. Oh, it was a crazy week. Yeah, and a lot of social people say, your brain wants proof, not promises. Like, you could say, I promise, I'm the best guy here, stuff like that. But like, once you prove it, proving it is it's a different thing. And it's so counterintuitive, because you shouldn't have to be proving yourself to people. And I think the more you prove yourself can actually have the opposite effect. But sometimes your brain needs that proof. Sometimes people need proof. Those instances are very important. Alright, guys, kind of a little bit longer video. I know I kind of rambled on a little bit, but I think there's some really good stuff in there. There's some really good life lessons, and yeah, I know y'all can change, because I did. And I'll see y'all in the next one.